Our recruiting coordinator, to give you a rundown of the class, and then we'll do Q&A at the end, and Coach Likens is here can answer some questions about recruiting and about Dave Christensen. Coach?
Well, thank you for coming. It's been a little bit of a whirlwind for me. Haven't been on a recruiting circuit for quite some time, but it's really a tedious process when you think about how this thing really goes about, especially the recruiting part of it when the kids come to campus with their families, and there's a lot of people that in this administration have done a wonderful job. It's not just the coaches, it's some of the professors and all those folks that are a part of when they come on campus. Obviously, they're student athletes first, so they don't just come here to play football, but also become good students and obviously good citizens. So it's an effort by a lot of people that work here that have done a fabulous job. I'm late on this. I've been hanging around with this guy for about the last we've been 3 weeks now. I haven't gone home since my send-off in Bristol. I don't know what my family looks like anymore, but that's okay. They're probably glad I'm not there. But doing this has been quite refreshing to me. What I anticipated, obviously. When you go into a home and you sit down for dinner with those families, you know that there's a big decision about to be made. We go in there as coaches, recruiting coordinators, representing not only ourselves, but also this great university, and we don't take it lightly. And I think the thing we have to offer here is one of, they're going to be a complete student athlete when they leave here, and that's very important because we are representing this university. There's been a lot of great athletes to come through here, and we have to make sure we do it right. I actually passed the compliance test, which was very important. And that's important. You know, I believe in, I'm not a rule guy at all. I believe in expectations. And whether we like them or not, we have to live by those. There's a code of conduct we all have to live by. I'm a believer in that. My father was a military man. I get that part of it. And I just think the way we represent this university every time we walk on a high school campus, in a home, is important because we represent this community, to be quite honest. And to me, that's important. I understand that. I've always understood that. And I don't take it lightly. So I think this has been a great 3 weeks for me. I've enjoyed every bit of it. I've got energy for it. That's why I'm back here. I think we've done a nice job of really identifying some young men that can help this program as football players, but also as good citizens, as good teammates, as scholar athletes as well. So that's the key of it all for me. And without this guy, I tell you what, I couldn't have done it because we've been hooked to the hip. He has more information on all these guys. He'll start getting into that. Rob, obviously, is our new offensive coordinator. That was easy. It was an easy transition. It was the right transition. I knew that when I came here, Billy would have an opportunity to leave. We talked about that when I first met him. And left a little early, but that's okay. I anticipated that would happen. This would be the guy. I talked to him right away, said, hey, here's the deal. He accepted. We'll have a defensive coordinator here by the end of the week. Can't mention who he is. We're fine. We'll be okay. No one needs to panic. So with that, you can tell them about all these good players we got.
Yeah, welcome. Appreciate you guys. Big day for Arizona State football and our recruiting department and everybody involved. I'd like to recognize a few people I think it's very important. There's so many people that are involved in this process, and we're recruiting throughout the year. First and foremost, our senior associate AD, Tim Cassidy, who has a lot of experience in this and has really kind of mentored me as I've moved through this process the last couple of years. Our coaching staff, you know, what has left our coaching staff and the guys that have left and went on to other places were a big part in this recruiting process and developing relationships with these kids. I think that's the most important thing is the relationships we've had with these kids. And people say, well, how do you keep this class together? And it's really about the relationships and in this university. Our analysts, our grad assistants, Marcus Elaine and Marcus Walker, and also the Sun Devil Athletic Admin team have been very supportive in what we've been doing recruiting. Our recruiting staff has been phenomenal. You know, I want to recognize Brent Graham. He's our on-campus recruiting coordinator. He's kind of been my right-hand man for the last year and has developed a great relationships with all these players. Fred Gamage, former player here, also from the city of Phoenix, played at Brophy Prep. Caesar Ochoa, Matt Seiler, Tanner Craker, and a number of our student assistants. The academic staff here, the support staff, led by Gene Boyd, Courtney Skipper, and Jacob Blum, and the rest of their staff, have been important when we're bringing these young men on our campus with their families to be able to show them what we offer here at Arizona State in terms of an academic career. They were great in setting up the professors. We had an academic team of professors we just started with Kevin McGraw. He's one of our professors here and has done an outstanding job of assembling a large group of professors that are able to meet with our students and our student athletes, prospects, and also their parents on Saturday mornings for breakfast on their visits. So I want to thank them. Our championship life component, again led by Gene Boyd and Alonzo Jones, has been great. Not only what we're going to do for them here at Arizona State while they're here, but once they graduate and leave, preparing them for the future to be better men, fathers, and husbands and fathers. I think that's important. Our strength staff, our nutrition staff, our athletic training staff, they're all part of what we're doing. Jerry Garcia in athletic training, Jerry Neely and Eric Bowman, and what they do in our equipment staff with our Adidas, our three-stripe life, showing the recruits what it's going to be like to play here and how they're going to be geared up. That they've been outstanding. And then, last but not least, our admin assistants, Laura Borp and Jill Adams. They're the ones that do a lot of the legwork and all of our travel and all of our visits and making sure these guys are taken care of. But so I want to thank those people. And going on to our players and our signed players, I thought it was a great day. We had 12 guys committed. We got 11 of the 12 signed. I think that's very important for what we're doing here. The loyalty these kids had throughout the process has been great. We signed 5 guys from the state of California. I think that was important. We signed 4 guys from the state of Texas, 1 from Arizona, and 1 from Louisiana. So very excited about that. One of the main guys, I think what we improved is we improved the back end of our defense, which I think is important. As you guys are aware of, I think it steadily has gotten better this past year, and then this coming year, we think we signed 2 big-time back-end players, and Dom Harrison from Glenn College. He's a Texas native, 6 foot, 185 pounds, is a press corner that can get after it. He's a good tackler. He's going to be a guy who can play in space. Expect him to come in and compete right away. He'll be here this spring. He's ranked the 3rd-ranked JUCO cornerback in the country. So we're really glad he's aboard. He's been committed to us for a long time and developed a relationship with him and his family. Great player. Taryn Adams from City College of San Francisco, just committed to us, signed with us, ranked the 13th ranked JUCO corner in the country. Big-time physical kid, very athletic, great ball skills. He's a ball hawk, 7 interceptions this year, makes plays on the ball, has great eyes, great awareness, spatial awareness, and will help us in the back end. His dad actually played in the NFL, Sam Adams. So he's a big-time son of a former player, so he's got great genes, so he's fired up to be here. He's originally from the state of Washington. So both of those guys are going to help our back end. As you move to the high schools, I thought we did real well in California. And I think Coach Simon has done an outstanding job recruiting running backs. And I think, we're losing 2 great ones, but I think we're signing three great ones as well. Demetrius Flowers from Powerhouse in California, St. John Bosco, 5'11", 220-pound back, very physical. Had an injury this year, so he cut out most of his season, but he's ranked the 5th ranked back in California. Over 1,000 yards and 21 touchdowns. Another great back out of the state of Texas, Brock Sturgis from Allen High School. He's a candidate for the Player of the Year in Texas. He'll be playing for a state championship this coming Saturday. Coach and I went into his home this past week, and what a great family. So, the kids that we're signing here are not only great football players, but they're great people, and I think that's important for our university to know that. Brock has 3,000 yards and 43 touchdowns over the past 2 years, so big-time back. A.J. Carter from Coach Simon's neck of the woods in Louisiana. He's almost at 4,000 yards, 3,900 yards, and 63 touchdowns in his career. He's a big back, 6 foot, 223 pounds. Chose ASU. His coach texted me this week and said, Coach, he chose you guys over the school here locally, and you know who that is. And that head coach was trying to get that young man. And Coach Simon's relationship with him was great. He come and visited last weekend with his mom, and he's the top back in Louisiana. So I feel that we really improved if you think about our offense this last year and who we lost, the majority we only lost 3 guys. 2 of those guys are running backs. So I think that we really reloaded the stable with that area. Another guy, an offensive tackle, Ralph Frias from Safford High School here in Arizona. Hometown hero. He's a big man, 6'6", 340 pounds. I think he has a ton of potential. Coach Slocum recruited him last year, went and watched him, watched his feet, watched him bend. We think he has a lot of potential in developing to a great offensive tackle. With with work of Coach Christensen's going to do with him in the offensive line. Really fired up about him. He's the 3rd-ranked offensive lineman in Arizona. Really good feet for his size. We're excited about him. Defensively, Michael Matus out of Katy High School. His team just finished the semifinals this past week. 6th-ranked defensive end in Texas. He's a finalist for Mr. Football Award in Texas as well. I think what separates him from a lot of guys in that position is his intelligence. 4.1 GPA. He's already been admitted into Barrett Honors College, which is a huge deal for us. Not only getting a great player, we're getting a great student. This young man, is very athletic, and he can play a lot of different positions. He's 6'2", 230 pounds. We think he's going to probably put on 20 to 30 pounds and be a big-time pass rusher for us. And also, he's going to be a guy that can stop the run in the Pac-12. Stanley Lambert out of San Antonio Marshall High School, 6'4", 215 pounds, and he's all of 6'4". He's number 11th ranked athlete in Texas. Stanley's got a high ceiling. This young man, is very long, played every position on the field except quarterback. I mean, he can play quarterback and offensive line. He's played running back, wide receiver, cornerback, safety. He's a kickoff returner. Had a number of kickoff returns for touchdowns. He's just an outstanding athlete. Rushes the passer. We kind of envision him being our devil backer in the future. He's got a lot of potential. I think with the coaching he's going to receive, the athleticism he has, and then getting him trained in the weight room, this kid's going to have a high ceiling. When it's all said and done, this guy could be one of the better ones on our class. Christian Laval, Mission Viejo, California, 6 foot, 220 pounds. Pound per pound, probably the best linebacker in California. He's the number 6 ranked linebacker in California. First team all Orange County. The kid has over 350 tackles in a 3-year career as a starter at Mission Viejo, which is a dominant program. So this young man is a very intelligent linebacker, knows the game, understands football, is a football junkie, knows everything about every player in California. I think he's critical to what we do in recruiting in California. So we're excited to have Christian Laval. Reggie Hughes, one of the most dynamic guys on our board from Calabasas High School in California, 6'1", 210 pounds, number 3 ranked linebacker in California. Had 19 sacks as a junior. Had an injury this year midway through, didn't get to finish his season out. He'll participate in the offensive defensive All-American Bowl. He's a very twitchy guy. We envision him being a pass rusher, but he's a multiple position player. We could see him playing a strong safety, outside linebacker, possibly even an inside linebacker, but he's definitely a pass rusher. We expect big things from Reggie. And then Eli Doyle is a safety from Bishop Alemany High School in California, 6 foot, 190. We kind of envision him being a strong safety type. Last year we called our Spur, 11th ranked safety in California. Chose us over a number of Pac-12 schools. Was really one of the first guys to commit here and has been instrumental in being loyal to our program, and the relationship we built with him and all the parents of these players has been great. And it's been a blessing for me to be able to recruit these guys, and we're not done. We still have 10 more initial scholarships we're going to be able to offer. We'll sign a total of 21, it looks like. So at this point, with the coaching staff that Coach Edwards is putting together, we're going to go back in the next 6 weeks, within the 6 weeks, reevaluate who's available. We got a number of guys still on our board that we're currently recruiting, developing relationships with, and as we get this coaching staff solidified, I'm confident we're going to be able to attract some great players to this program and improve this class from what it already is. So I think it's a great day. We signed 11 out of those 12 players. And again, I want to thank you guys for all being here and your support and what we're trying to do here. We're trying to build a Pac-12 championship team, and I think we're on a good start here in this December signing class.
Thanks, Donnie. Coach, do you have a couple of comments or a big question?
I'm good. Go ahead.
Questions?